If you're over 60, one tiny habit could silently raise your risk of a life-changing stroke. While you sleep, no warning, no pain. Just one moment you're fine, and the next, your speech is slurred, your arm won't move, or your balance is gone. The real shock? It's not from smoking, poor diet, or lack of exercise. It's from something most seniors trust without question: vitamins. As a brain doctor, I've seen it firsthand. Supplements meant to help are quietly harming thousands every day. In this video, I'll reveal 5 common vitamins that may be putting your brain in serious danger. Vitamin D. You've heard it before. Vitamin D is good for your bones, your mood, even your immune system. And that's true, in moderation. But here's what almost no one tells older adults. Too much vitamin D, especially when taken at night, could silently raise your risk of a stroke. I know that sounds shocking, but I've seen it, more than once. Let me tell you about Mr. Walter, a 74-year-old retired Navy vet. Sharp, disciplined, took his health seriously. Every morning, like clockwork, he lined up his supplements on the kitchen counter, including a 10,000 IU vitamin D capsule he bought over the counter. He believed he was protecting his bones. What he didn't realize was that this daily habit was slowly creating a dangerous storm inside his body. One morning, his wife found him confused. His right arm was limp. His speech? Slurred. She rushed him to the hospital. He'd had a stroke. In his sleep. No warning signs, no pain. Just a sudden, terrifying shift from healthy to helpless. His lab results revealed the cause: vitamin D toxicity. You see, when you take high doses of vitamin D, your body starts to absorb more calcium than it actually needs. That excess calcium doesn't just float around harmlessly. It builds up in your bloodstream, and your body, confused about what to do with it, starts shoving it into your blood vessels. Over time, this makes your arteries stiff and narrow, especially in the brain. And that's where the real risk begins. As we age, our arteries naturally lose flexibility. Add in things like dehydration, poor sleep, or a late-night supplement routine, and the risk multiplies. What you end up with is the perfect storm: calcified arteries, unstable blood pressure, and a brain that's more vulnerable in the early hours of the morning. That's when most strokes in older adults happen, between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. And here's what's even more alarming. Many over-the-counter vitamin D supplements sold in the U.S. contain 5,000 IU, 10,000 IU, or more per capsule. That's far above what most seniors actually need. In fact, studies show that even 2,000 IU daily may be too much if you're not vitamin D deficient. But because there's no pain, no symptoms, and no instant feedback, people keep taking it every single day, believing more is better. Until one day, it isn't. The good news? This risk is 100% preventable. Here's what you need to do. First, get your vitamin D levels tested, especially if you're taking supplements regularly. Second, only supplement under medical supervision. Third, and this is big, always take vitamin D in the morning, not at night. Why? Because calcium absorption and blood pressure regulation follow a natural rhythm. Taking high doses before bed disrupts that balance and may raise your stroke risk while you sleep. Remember, vitamin D is fat-soluble, which means your body stores it, not flushes it. You don't need massive daily doses to stay healthy. In fact, too much may quietly harm your brain over time. So here's the question. Do you know how many IUs your supplement has? If you're currently taking vitamin D, type D in the comments. Let's open this conversation, because awareness is what saves lives. And if this made you think twice about what's in your medicine cabinet, go ahead and give this video a like. You never know who else might need this warning, because Mr. Walter didn't see it coming. Most people don't, but now you do. Vitamin E. If the idea of a nighttime stroke shocked you, wait until you hear this, because the next vitamin is often taken for heart health. But, in some cases, has caused something even more terrifying than a clot: a brain bleed. Yes, vitamin E, often called the heart helper. It's one of the most popular supplements among adults over 60. Why? Because people believe it supports circulation, memory, and even skin health. But here's what most labels won't tell you, and what most seniors never hear from their doctors. In high doses, vitamin E acts like a natural blood thinner. And if you're already taking medications for your heart, this seemingly harmless supplement can quietly tip the balance and become deadly. Let me introduce you to Mrs. Evelyn Brooks, an 81-year-old retired librarian from Ohio. She was sharp, witty, and always had a mystery novel tucked under her arm. She had a heart valve issue and was on warfarin, a common blood thinner. Her doctors monitored her closely. Blood work, pressure, everything looked great. Then one day, she saw a magazine ad for Natural Vitamin E, Support Your Heart and Memory. 800 international units per capsule. Sounded helpful. She added it to her routine. 3 weeks later, she was rushed to the ER. She had a splitting headache. She was vomiting, disoriented. Her speech didn't make sense. A brain scan confirmed it: a hemorrhagic stroke, bleeding inside the brain. Not because she fell, not because of high blood pressure, but because her blood was too thin to clot, thanks to the combination of warfarin and high-dose vitamin E. You see, while vitamin E is essential in small amounts, large doses interfere with your blood's ability to clot. Most people don't know this, but your brain? It doesn't need much to bleed. One fragile vessel under pressure, and your life can change in seconds. Here's the real kicker. The recommended daily intake for adults is just 15 milligrams. That's around 22 international units. But many supplements sold in stores contain 200 international units, 400 international units, even 1,000 international units per capsule, without any warnings. Now, imagine taking that every day for years, on top of aspirin or heart medication. It's like stacking fireworks on top of a candle. All it takes is one spark. Mrs. Evelyn survived, but her life is different now. She walks with a cane. Her short-term memory never fully recovered. Through tears, she told me, "I just wanted to help myself. I didn't know I was doing harm." And that's the part that breaks my heart, because she's not alone. So many older adults assume, if it's a vitamin, it must be safe. But the truth is, not every supplement is safe, especially when mixed with prescription drugs. So what can you do? First, if you're on any heart or blood pressure medication, talk to your doctor before adding vitamin E. Second, check your supplement labels. If your capsules have more than 100 IU and you're taking them daily, that's a red flag. Third, remember, more is not better. Your body needs balance, not megadoses. Still not sure? Ask yourself, have you ever checked how much vitamin E you're taking? If you've used any heart or memory supplements, type E in the comments. Let's get this out in the open. And if Mrs. Evelyn's story made you pause, consider giving this video a like, so someone else doesn't have to learn the hard way. Because while strokes are terrifying, a silent brain bleed is worse. There's no second chance if you don't catch it in time. But the good news is, now you know. And knowledge, real, honest knowledge, is the first step toward protecting your brain. Vitamin B6, you've probably seen it at the pharmacy, supports brain health, promotes nerve function. Sounds like something every older adult should take, right? But here's the twist. Too much vitamin B6 doesn't protect your nerves. It can actually destroy them. And the damage? In some cases, it's permanent. Let me tell you about Mr. Harold Jenkins, a 76-year-old retired truck driver from Kansas. He came into my office complaining that his feet felt numb, his hands tingled, and his balance getting worse by the week. At first, he chalked it up to age. Then he started falling. The third time, he hit his head on the bathroom floor. When I looked at his chart and reviewed his daily supplements, I spotted the problem immediately. A nerve support formula with 100 milligrams of vitamin B6 per tablet. He was taking 2 tablets a day. That's 200 milligrams daily, more than 10 times the safe upper limit for adults over 60. Here's what most people don't realize. Unlike other B vitamins that flush out through urine, vitamin B6 can build up in your body over time. And when it does, it damages the protective coating around your nerves, kind of like stripping the insulation off a wire. The result? Tingling, numbness, muscle weakness. Eventually, even tremors, confusion, and memory problems. It's a slow, creeping kind of damage, so subtle that many seniors don't even realize what's happening. They assume it's arthritis, or maybe early dementia, but in reality, it's vitamin B6 toxicity, a preventable condition caused by pills meant to help. Mr. Jenkins was lucky. We caught it early. He stopped the supplement, and the damage didn't get worse. But the damage already done? That stuck. He now walks with a cane. He doesn't drive anymore. And I'll never forget what he told me. "Doc, I just wanted to protect my brain. I didn't know I was poisoning it." And that's the truth so many people miss. Vitamin B6 is essential, but only in very small amounts. For older adults, the recommended daily amount is about 1.5 to 2 milligrams, and that includes what you get from food. But supplements marketed for brain support, energy, or nerve repair often contain 50, 100, even 200 milligrams per dose. And people take them every single day, thinking they're doing the right thing. What's worse, the symptoms of toxicity don't show up overnight. It can take months, even years, for the damage to surface. And once it does, it's not always reversible. So here's what you need to do. Check your labels. If any supplement contains more than 10 milligrams of B6, be cautious. Be especially wary of products labeled nerve, brain, or energy. These often hide high B6 levels. If you've been taking a high-dose B6 supplement and have numbness, tingling, or balance issues, talk to your doctor immediately. Still unsure? Type B6 in the comments if you've ever taken a supplement like that, or know someone who has. Let's get this out into the open, because too many people are suffering in silence. And if Mr. Jenkins's story made you look twice at your supplement drawer, hit the like button. You might just help someone catch this before it's too late, because what's marketed as a brain booster might actually be a brain breaker. Vitamin A. By now, you might be thinking, okay, but surely some vitamins are completely safe, right? What about vitamin A? It's just for eyesight. That's what most people believe. But here's the truth no one tells you. Too much vitamin A doesn't just affect your eyes. It can raise the pressure inside your skull, damage your vision, and even mimic a stroke. Let me introduce you to Miss Dorothy Simmons, a 79-year-old retired piano teacher from Oregon. She was elegant, thoughtful, and sharp. She loved her independence and took care of her health, always looking for ways to stay sharp as she aged. For years, she'd been taking a supplement she found online. It was labeled as a skin and eye health booster, with 10,000 IU of vitamin A per capsule. She took it every single day for 5 years, thinking it was a gentle, natural way to age gracefully. Then the symptoms started. First came the headaches, then blurred vision, then dizziness, slurred speech, and nausea. Her family thought she was having a stroke, but her brain scan revealed something else. No bleeding, no clot, but dangerously high pressure inside the skull. It's called pseudotumor cerebri, a false brain tumor. The symptoms are nearly identical to a real stroke or tumor, but the cause is different. Excess vitamin A slowly building up over time. You see, vitamin A is fat-soluble, which means it gets stored in your liver, your fat tissue, and even your brain. It doesn't flush out of your system like vitamin C or B-complex vitamins. And as we age, our liver slows down, meaning that buildup happens even faster. Too much vitamin A can cause spinal fluid to back up. It compresses tiny blood vessels in your brain and creates pressure that leads to stroke-like symptoms, even permanent vision loss. Miss Dorothy was devastated. She told me, "I thought I was doing something good for my eyes. I never imagined it could hurt my brain." And here's the scary part. She's not alone. Many multivitamins already contain the full recommended daily dose of vitamin A, about 2,500 to 3,000 IU. But when people add on skin, eye, or anti-aging supplements, they're unknowingly doubling or tripling that amount. And most of those supplements? They don't include any warnings, just glowing promises about beauty, clarity, and healthy aging. Let me be clear. Vitamin A is important, but too much of it, especially taken daily for months or years, can turn into a slow, silent threat to your brain. So how do you stay safe? First, check your supplement labels. If you're taking more than 3,000 IU of vitamin A per day from any source and you're over 60, it's time to pause. Second, be extra cautious with combo supplements, especially those for skin, vision, or aging. Third, talk to your doctor if you've had persistent headaches, dizziness, or vision problems while on high-dose vitamin A. And if you're wondering right now whether your supplement might be overdoing it, type A in the comments. You're probably not the only one. If Miss Dorothy's story made you think twice, give this video a like, because someone else might be on the same path and not even know it. We tend to trust what we've always been told, that vitamins are safe, natural, and harmless. But the truth is, even the ones marketed for clarity can leave you in the dark. Niacin, vitamin B3. So far, we've talked about strokes, brain bleeds, nerve damage, and even pressure building inside your skull. But the next vitamin? It's one of the most widely recommended for heart health, and yet, in high doses, it can quietly do the exact opposite. We're talking about niacin, also known as vitamin B3. Doctors have praised it for years. You'll find it in cholesterol-lowering supplements, energy drinks, even breakfast cereals. But for older adults, high-dose niacin can silently cause extreme blood pressure swings, trigger heart rhythm problems, and even lead to mini-strokes, the kind that most people never see coming. Let me introduce you to Mr. Frank Miller, an 82-year-old retired postman from Florida. He came into my office with a strange mix of symptoms: facial flushing, a pounding heart, dizziness, especially in the mornings. His wife thought it was anxiety. His son blamed it on blood pressure meds. But the real cause? A so-called heart-healthy supplement he'd bought online. The front label said, supports cholesterol and circulation. The back label? 1,000 milligrams of niacin per serving, and he was taking it twice a day. That's 2,000 milligrams daily, over 60 times what most older adults actually need. Now here's how niacin works. It expands your blood vessels, which is why your face may flush or feel warm after taking it. That may sound harmless, but what most people don't realize is what happens next. After that flush, your blood vessels snap back and constrict, creating a yo-yo effect on your blood pressure. This constant back and forth puts intense stress on your heart. It disrupts blood flow to your brain. And over time, that pressure roller coaster becomes dangerous, especially if you're already taking medications for blood pressure or cholesterol. In Frank's case, the damage had already begun. He suffered what's known as a transient ischemic attack, TIA, a mini-stroke. His speech slurred for 2 minutes, then returned. He didn't collapse. He didn't even go to the hospital at first. He thought it was a fluke, until I reviewed his supplements and gave him the hard truth. Frank, your heart supplement is quietly hurting your brain. And he's not alone. Many seniors buy flush-free or extended-release niacin thinking it's safer. But studies show even those versions can raise blood pressure, affect blood sugar, and trigger atrial fibrillation. The FDA once approved prescription niacin to manage cholesterol. But guess what? That approval was withdrawn. Why? Because the risks, stroke, liver damage, diabetes complications, outweighed the benefits, especially for older adults. Here's what you need to know. For seniors, anything above 50 milligrams of niacin per day should only be taken under medical supervision. Most people get enough B3 from food alone: meats, fish, grains, and legumes. If you've ever taken a niacin supplement for your heart, cholesterol, or energy, check your labels right now. And if you find something surprising on that bottle, type B3 in the comments. Let's bring these hidden dangers into the light. Frank's off niacin now. No permanent damage. But he told me something I'll never forget. "Doc, I thought I was doing everything right. I didn't know I was gambling with my brain." That's the reality for too many older adults, trying to stay healthy, unknowingly walking straight into danger. But now you know. And next, we'll talk about what you should do instead. Because while pills can hurt, the right food can heal. You don't need to fear vitamins, but you do need to understand them. One small habit could change everything. So tell me in the comments, what's one change you'll make starting tomorrow? If this video opened your eyes, give it a like and subscribe to Easy Health Hub, because your brain deserves better, and we're just getting started.